Hey everybody, it's Wednesday night. We've got a new show, some new snakes, and a new giveaway. Stay tuned.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Superdwarf Show. My name is Thomas.
And I'm Garrett.
What's going on, man? What's new with you?
I don't know. Are we starting the live stream? Okay.
I mean, it started.
Hold
yeah,
on,
you're
hold
on,
on.
man. Hit that. Whatever
All right.
the live stream switch is for you,
Getting
guys,
ready.
turn it on.
Okay. Yeah. Hi. Yeah. Everything's new. Nothing's new. I don't know. We've had a really good time. I've been so busy lately. We have been really focusing. I don't know if you guys have noticed on our Wild World TV channel all the stuff that we've been up to, but we're up to quite a bit more here. But yeah, honestly, I'm just trying to catch up from getting to meet with Warren Klein, who I got all my house snakes from Bushveld Reptiles. And he was here all last week. We were up till like 2 o'clock in the morning at least every single night.
Man.
It was like it's 5:30, the staff goes home, and now the day begins. It's so fun hanging out here after, closing time. I don't know. It's just
You guys
cool
listen
place.
to closing time when we leave?
Closing time. We should just
It sets the after
should cue
party,
the
after
music.
work vibe.
Yeah, we should cue the music at like 3 minutes till or whatever whatever the length of the song.
We would definitely
is.
get copyright strike, but it would be worth it.
It's funny, when I worked at Petco, I lied about my age. I was like 15 years old, said I was older so that I could work at Petco. And I had the same shift, and they, at that store, I don't know if they're all like this, but they had like a playlist throughout the day, but they would start it and stop it at the exact same time. So all the same songs played at the same times. So every day I walked into work, there was one song playing. And to this day, when I hear those songs, I'm like, oh, feels like I got to go to work or something like that at Petco.
It's like a trigger.
But I didn't realize how much it impacted me. But like there was a song at lunch that would play, 12 o'clock, time to go to lunch. And to this day, when I hear that song, I'm like, man, I'm kind of hungry all of a sudden.
I was going to say, do you have like a food trigger for your like lunch song is like?
Yeah, I'm not telling you what songs they are. You're going to mess with me all the time. But yes, they did.
I'm going to mess.
Yeah, that's why I'm not telling you what the songs are.
Because somehow you have avoided eating the normal amount of calories needed for life. Somehow.
Exactly. So kind of fun, a little bit different for the show for you guys. Speaking of hanging out after everybody's gone home, we actually have a live studio audience with us.
First time ever?
First time ever on the Superdwarf Show.
Besides like the occasional person that drops by, but like full audience. I'm gonna show them really.
You got a little cell phone shot set up on your desk
here.
there.
Yeah.
Hey,
wait, everybody say hi.
Say hi to Melissa, Jody, Abby, and Richard. These guys are all from our Patreon. So you guys probably know we have like a little after party or whatever after we do this live show that's exclusive to Patreon. So you guys can jump on there.
So this is the first ever like after party IRL too, like in real life.
We're gonna hang out
more than like a guest
after the party. Yeah, it's a 4-person retic fest.
You guys feel like this is the after party? That's facts.
He's not gonna stay. He's gonna go. He's gonna punch out and run.
I punch out at 8:30, just so you know.
Abby, do you want to jump up here? We'll introduce you guys. So
I'm gonna say hi to some people really quick in the chat. What's up, Phil Thompson? We got Christina Hill, S. Arnett, John N. Lauren O'Connor, thanks for joining us, guys.
Hey, guys. So Abby is, I'm going to get this right because I always try to say the tarantula name. It's the curly-haired keeper on Instagram. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay,
nice
so you guys are going to have to go check her out on Instagram. She has all kinds of cool pictures and stuff like that. But hanging out with us, normally you guys see me pull out my little cage for the snake cam up here. Thomas, can you give us a snake cam for a minute?
Let's do it.
Abby's
I didn't actually test it,
us.
so... Oh, that looks great.
Hopefully it works.
Pretty zoomed in.
There we go.
That's perfect.
So Abby is hanging out with our little marble girl here. So those of you guys... Yeah, and you've won a couple of these, haven't you?
I won the Retic Fest.
Oh, you keep winning the prizes, not the names.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
No, I came close last week, but I haven't won it.
So we do giveaways frequently in the Patreon too, which is pretty fun. But for those of you guys who are watching, Jody, you want to bring yours up too? We got 2 snakes up here. So yeah, so we have our dwarf marble girl and then our Superdwarf platinum tiger anery boy. These are 2 of my personal holdbacks. This one is from a weird calico tiger Superdwarf that I have, which is very rare, a captive bred calico. Yeah, and then this one might be the nicest marble that Andrew Acevedo has ever produced. There was a male that I think would give her a run for the money, but this is definitely the nicest female. I pride myself in taking all of Andrew's nicest females. So you guys can hang out until afterwards if you want to name this. Thomas will let you know how that goes when it is. But while you guys are up here, how are you guys enjoying the Patreon experience? Should everyone jump in?
Yes.
Move the mic over towards them a little bit.
Okay, come on.
Yeah, the Patreon is great. You have what, 3 different tiers? I'm in the keeper tier.
I think 4.
4. All right. But
The bottom tier is $5. You can start at $5. It goes all the way up to 100. Thomas, I think we have one of those open. We have a breeder
tiers?
tier.
We have
two.
Two?
Don't happen often.
A little birdie told me maybe 2 spots open.
Yeah, that's what I thought was 2.
2 aspiring breeders.
Spaghetti.
It's the Patreon apocalypse.
But yeah, it's great. I mean, yours is probably one of the more active Patreons that I've been a part of. Like posting all of the time. You do a lot of hangout stuff, which is great.
That's all Ashley, my wife, but she's
by
like
you I meant
tight.
Ashley.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or by extension.
Yeah, but it's great. Super interactive. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, even if you don't live 25 minutes away, as we super fun.
Yeah.
Which is funny because they only did that, when did we do it?
2.5 weeks ago.
2.5 weeks ago, they moved here. They liked Patreon so much.
That's what did it. That was the clutch. That was the clutch.
That they moved down the street. And you guys are actually our second Patreon members to do that.
Really?
Yes,
Oh my
because
gosh,
Ben
that's
Horton
awesome.
moved all the way here from California.
Oh my
After
gosh.
going to Retic Fest. You
That's
weren't
right.
at the first Retic
We were
Fest,
not.
right?
We're at the most recent one.
Right. So after the first Retic Fest, he's like, I like Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Who would have known? So
That's
he moved here from
exactly
California.
What we did.
So
We were
he's
driving
20
around.
minutes the other direction. So you guys all have to go.
We'll have
Yeah,
get,
we're
like, a
surrounding
local
you.
party.
Go see it. That's it. That's it.
Slowly closing in on
Very
Garrett.
cool. All right. Well, thank you
Awesome.
guys. So yeah, we have
Thanks, Garrett.
the live studio audience, and there's a
Also,
couple.
I'm seeing a hashtag Team Ashley. Garrett, I don't want you to take any credit away from Ashley. Ashley's doing all the legwork here. You just show up.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
just
that's
kidding.
what I said.
Oh yeah, there you go. Garrett does a lot. But throw a hashtag Team Ashley in the chat if you love Ashley, want to support her. She's doing great things. But yeah, what else has been going on around the shop? Last week we dropped training the literal worst snake ever, and the people loved it.
Our snake training videos always do a good job. I liked your thumbnail there, Thomas. That was pretty comical.
It was creatively a team effort. That was, you were like, you know what? Take a picture of me with this chair and this whip. You're gonna put a whip in my hand, and I was like, okay,
That was a pretty
let's
good
do
one.
it.
Yeah, you'll have to go check that. The funny thing about being like on YouTube or social media or stuff, like if you've never done it, if you haven't produced consistent content like that for something like YouTube, it's hard to probably understand what that's like. But coming up with creative thumbnails that people will see and care to click on and things like that, it's just, there's so much constant demand for creativity. That's why I hired Thomas, so I don't have to do
I
that.
want to give a shout out quick. DNT Retix with the $2 super chat. I'm sorry for missing that earlier. What's Garrett? I think they meant what's up, Garrett. I'm here. Hi, Melissa.
I like it.
I like it. I think that's how all the super chats should be formatted from now on. They make them really fun to read out loud.
Well, you should tell them, how does the super chat work for everybody that's joining us?
So
Not like technically how it works. Nobody knows how it works.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. How
The
it
longer
works.
you watch, the more money we drain out of your wallet. I think
Exactly.
that's-
Perfect timing. J Hill Jr. Gagne Gahaka with the 10 bones.
Whoa.
Remember
thanks,
to hit the
buddy.
thumbs up, like, and to add the studio. Oh, and to add the studio decor. I think they're telling us to add. Look, we have this cool look. You can't really see it because we haven't hung it up, but there's a light.
It's right here. They can't see the light?
As I've been heard, it was
Hold on,
more
give me the
expensive than it should have
studio
been.
audience cam. I'm moving it.
There you go.
You ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
It's pretty short wire.
The light.
Yeah, that is a light. That is light.
Okay.
I'm no
I don't know if
scientist.
this is right. Our lovely
Yeah,
studio
that's
audience. Hold
perfect.
on,
That's
ready?
perfect. Perfect. Well, so super chats work. There's a little super chat button. If you hit that, we will pretty much stop everything depending on what we're talking about and acknowledge you, thank you, give you our undying love and attention. But
Well, what are we working
there-
towards? So we started this goal last week.
I'm getting there, man. I'm getting there. I got my points. I got
Oh,
my
okay.
points. We started this goal last week, and guess what, guys? We failed successfully. Last week,
What?
we made 55% of our goal last week. So we have 45% of our goal, and that is all going towards a backdrop because you can see Garrett just looks kind of sad and lonely on that big white wall. So
very
we have
clinical.
some big plans. Melissa's also been helping us figure out some of those plans for the back wall.
Yeah, so Melissa Thompson, I think, has had like 5 better ideas in the first 5 minutes she was here than we've been talking about for like 5 months.
Yeah.
So, but we set our goal at $250. We are going to, as we do here at Retail Reptiles, crappy chic it up and make it look awesome. So
Yep.
it'll be pretty
And-
fun, but that'll be for our background here. All the pieces are starting to come together.
It is slow progress, but we have some really cool designs. Serpent Eclipse Reptiles, Adler, I see you, man. I'm not going to forget that's you this time.
What's up?
With the $5, everyone's here for Melissa. I'm only here this week for Melissa. Love you guys.
No
Exactly.
kidding. No
Welcome back to
kidding.
the Superdwarf Show, hosted by Melissa Thompson.
Do you want to swap places for a while, Melissa?
Here, you can take my
Yeah,
spot.
she's like,
Take
not
my-
really, not really.
There's room for 2.
Okay. Do you want to show off your snake? You got the snake cam.
Let's do it. Let's
Primed up.
fire it up.
First say hi to Melissa. She come up here. Yep, come on right up here. Snake cam's up here. So Melissa Thompson, who's actually also moved to Pittsburgh, at least temporarily from Patreon. And this is your new pickup. This is only the second time you saw this. You saw it first at Tinley, right?
Yeah.
Move it forward just a little bit. There you go. It's perfect.
What is this? What is this snake, Melissa?
I forget.
You need to get your picture with the cover.
Well,
I'll
yeah,
have
I
to
don't wanna
write it
bring my
up for
phone
you.
up here for
You don't have your
okay.
regular cheat sheet.
Yeah.
So this is from Clutch 9. This is like my favorite clutch. This is a really high percentage. It's got Calato and Madu, and the Madu is what brings those lovely lilac colors. So it's an Anery Motley. Might be I think, like one of the most flexible project breeders that you can do. Like you can do carbon fiber projects,
Get it
Motley
removed a little
GC.
bit.
You guys know, like you love the all black Anery Motley gold salad. You can go that direction. You can super Motley.
Bill Thompson says, that's my snake. Oh, and my wife, too.
There you go. I like this live studio.
I know.
audience.
I was like,
a
wow,
little
we like hit a
applause,
laugh
please
track.
thing. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, do you have anything to say to your adoring fans? Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Hi, baby. I love you.
All right. Very cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, while we're at it, right before we jump into our 3 tips about bringing the industry, further forward and stuff, we might as well bring Richard up here. Richard, do you want to come say
Do
hi?
it.
Congratulations. So, for those of you guys that don't know, Richard is on Patreon. He also moved here to Pittsburgh, unless you're a native.
62 years ago.
62 years ago, in preparation of us moving to Pittsburgh and starting this
crazy.
business.
Somehow knew.
Exactly. So Richard also, we're going to claim credit for that, moved here to Pittsburgh 62 years ago before I was born to partake on tonight's show.
Hello, everybody.
And so you have, I think you're probably more specialized towards the green tree pythons. Is that fair
That
to
is
say?
correct. I have mostly green tree pythons.
And do you want to share some of your recent
I just
successes?
had my first clutch of green tree pythons a couple weeks ago.
Let's go.
Which is a huge deal.
Yes, it's a Cyclops locality. I have never bred any reptile before.
Holy
this
smokes, I
moment.
didn't know that. That's crazy.
When I was a kid, I had swordtails, so that was the other one. But yeah, you can do it.
That
Just
is
have to try.
incredible. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations,
you.
man. That's very
Congratulations.
cool. One of these days, I'll do that. Yeah. Any
I
tips
can help
for
you out with that.
that would be great. Any tips for aspiring breeders?
Look up as much information as you can. Listen to people who are successful, and just you have to try
Now, how did you incubate the eggs?
in a cooler baiter.
Yeah.
A cooler
I didn't
baiter.
know.
A
I didn't
cooler
know. I
baiter.
just wanted to check it out.
Is that what they're called?
Huh? We
Cooler
should- that's what
baiters?
They call
They are
them.
cooler. And they
Cooler
are baiters.
Yes, I followed the directions precisely
Yeah.
from the video that you made up. Yeah.
Oh, so you actually did
Yes,
use
I
that?
did.
That's funny. I didn't know. I truly, but that was pretty.
I mean,
cool.
the video
I was
isn't
gonna give you
called.
crap, but you used my technique. So.
The video isn't
Works good
called
for green trees,
DIY
too.
incubation for success for no reason.
There you
Just
go.
saying.
Yeah, I actually someone who was just sharing me videos today of their rhino iguanas hatching in our incubator, and it's kind of cool because people use the exact products, like the same box, the same everything. So when they send videos of their stuff hatching, it looks like I'm downstairs watching stuff hatch in my own incubators. Yeah. So it's kind of a cool thing.
And if you go to the Patreon page and join and go to the Discord, you'll see some pictures of my stuff.
Ooh,
yeah, including
further incentive. Shameless salesmanship. Thank you, sir.
I learned from the best.
All right. No kidding. 62 years in preparation. Mm-hmm. I like it. All right. Thomas, what are we talking about tonight?
Well, so I'm a hot-headed, I wrote this down, so it's like scripted, super scripted. So I'm a hot-headed,
no one would have
reptile-loving, full-send keeper, ready to inflict my influence upon the hobby in the most beneficial way possible.
Are you now?
So I have a question for you in light of that information.
Really?
How do I go about that without A, pissing people off for no reason, and B, doing it in the most efficient and effective way possible?
Well, A, I don't know why you wouldn't want to piss people off. I think you
for no reason.
I mean, sometimes there's just reason unto itself, right?
That's for the vlog channel, man. You can't bring this up on the live stream.
Oh, okay.
That's vlog channel, man. Wild World TV.
I mean, you know, you can have a little bit of fun. What are we doing this for?
That's facts.
Yeah. So last week we talked about...
Oh, super chat, by the way. Sorry, I missed Christina Hill's $5.
Woo, Christina.
In hopes that we can materialize the Team Ashley merch in the calendar, maybe in 3 to 4 business years. How long is it?
Not including holidays. Don't forget to put those holidays in there. Give us a little bit more time. So just to recap last week, because this is kind of a part 2, what were our 3 main points last week? He doesn't know. Look at this. I didn't clean up last week. Our 3 main points last week were execute yesterday. Just start doing something. Adapt as you go. All right. Know where to spend your resources and where not to. And number 3, be in community. And we talked a lot about USARC, which, by the way, if you guys aren't subscribed to USARC's channel, Gary Shavino just dropped. I'm just going to say it. It is the best USARC video that's on that channel. It was so good. Other than maybe the one where we said the Lacey Act amendments and Competes Act is dead. But that was nothing that I did. That was just the news. So if you haven't seen that yet, go subscribe and like Gary's video.
I'm going to link it in the channel right now, or link in the description.
Doesn't really do any of that stuff, but I hadn't seen Gary's literally until it was uploaded. He coordinated that with you, Thomas. So we went and watched it at my house, and my wife was rolling on the floor laughing. I think she said she's watched it like 5 times. She's like, these kids are stressing me out. I got to go watch Gary's video. I need my 3 minutes of me time. So, which is kind of weird, but if you watch the video, you'll know. And what is the title? Don't die alone.
3 reasons to support USARC or risk dying alone. If that's not a compelling title, I don't know what is.
It was really good. It was really good.
Before we jump into our first big main point, Maria Tabor with the $15. Thank you so much, Maria.
Maria.
She says, I just want to thank you guys for all the great content. 2 months ago, I didn't even know Superdwarf's door free ticks existed. My second baby from ROR is being delivered tomorrow.
Congratulations. I was going to say, I knew that those came out. We had a bunch
so
of boxes going out today. So, yeah.
Full send to you, Maria.
You'll have to let us know. If you use those hashtags on the cards that you get, because I love to see your guys' babies on the other end. You guys all know that when you tag us in there and stuff like that. I love seeing that stuff. Yeah, so welcome to the family. All right. So, point number 4, building off of next week. I think the biggest thing that you should expect to do right from the beginning if you want to have any kind of impact in the hobby, and especially if you're breeding it with your animals, you should be building a market, not excuses. In other words, a lot of people will produce a snake. Let's say that I mean, I don't know, maybe a clown ball python is very popular right now. So I may feel, and there's nothing wrong with this, that I should breed clown ball pythons because there's a good market for that. Then I've had my first clutches. I've got all my clown ball pythons. Maybe I throw them up on Morph Market or however I intend to sell them, and they just don't go anywhere. Or by the time I breed them and I put them up on the market, maybe they cost less. There are other competitors out there at lower prices than what I planned. What I hear all the time is breeders feeling like they are chained to markets that seemingly fluctuate on their own. It's kind of like if we complain about the U.S. economy. Oh, the economy, it's outside of our control. But the truth of the matter is, within the reptile community, it's a much smaller world than you realize, and you have greater potential and impact than you may know. And so I would say that if I was going to breed clown ball pythons, I would have a plan A, B, and C for those before they ever hatched. You know, plan A might be just like Abby's doing, the curly-haired keeper on Instagram, building up her social media presence, doing a great job showing off the animals as they grow, things like that. And then when they hit, I can sell, hopefully to my friends or close family. You know who did this, that did a really good job at it, is our friend Brian Cusco. You know, he produces, first of all, he's super picky with his snakes. So he has ball pythons, but like if you get an Enchi ball python from him or something, it's 10 times the Enchi that you would normally see out there. So he was very selective with that. And then he prices them accordingly, where you may be able to find an Enchi out there. And don't quote me on these prices. I don't really know the ball python market. But say that an Enchi might be $125 or something, and his are $350. But his sell immediately. A, because people know him, they know the quality of the animals, they want to support him because he's just a good human being, and they love having an animal produced by their friend. You know, so he has created a market around his brand. And if I'm using the Brian Cusco comparison or whatever, his brand is like family taking care of each other. You know what I mean? It's all about the love and feel goodiness and all the parts of life I don't really understand. But that's what he is all about. And so when you purchase an animal from him, you feel like you've been brought into that. Or just like people like you guys and all our other watchers Maria, that has your snake being shipped to you now, Maria, you're buying into and become a part of what it is that we do here. It might be that we're sitting here doing a live stream and you're hanging out on our couch across the way doing the live audience thing. Laugh.
That was perfect.
It worked. We didn't even practice that. So you just don't know, you know, but you get to be a part of what's going on. So I would say that on the flip side, when you begin producing animals or a product, and that product could be literally like yourself and personal brand, you know, to the reptile industry, whatever it is, don't feel like you need to be a victim of a market or follow what other people do. You know, make your value proposition, like I just explained Brian Cusco's to you, stand on that and then deliver it better than anybody else can, and celebrate with the people who become a part of your journey along the way. When you do that, you can literally change the market. I don't think that there was very much of a market, for example, for Superdwarf retics when we started. If you looked at like kind of the average market prices that people put stuff up on, I'm not even talking about us. I'm talking about other people selling kind of a standardized item, like I have a pure Kalatoa or something. The cost was low and there were always animals available when we began. But because we started talking about how valuable those animals were, the value went up, the demand went up, and it created a market that was attractive enough for other people to get into. And honestly, I don't think there was anything crazy that we did about that other than just me being in love with the animals and showing that online, you know, being vulnerable about how much I love the animals. And I think other people got into that too. Is that fair?
Yeah. Well, and I mean, what I'm hearing you say is that like now that there's this successful thing and you've built up this market, so to speak, other people should follow that because like you're successful. And if they want to be successful, they should just do what you're doing, breed what you're breeding. That's what you're saying.
I feel like Thomas doesn't even listen to me sometimes. What do you guys think?
Listen, man, it's part of the script. Scripted. Thomas, pretend like you weren't
you're
listening.
teeing me up.
That was such a good tee up,
That
bro.
was so good. I
Do you not
totally
see the eyes?
missed
Do you
it.
not see the desperate eyes I give you when I need you to move on?
Is that what that meant?
Yeah.
I thought you were hungry or had to go potty or
Well,
something.
now that we're between points, go potty. That's how you know he's a dad of dad of young
four little
kids.
kids. All right.
Serpent Eclipse with the $5, supporting the community will open doors,
yeah.
build those connections. Brian did that for
We're
me.
gonna get our
Super
Melissa
grateful.
Thompson background in no time.
The Melissa
Thank you
Thompson
guys for pitching
Foundation background. How does that sound?
the Melissa Thompson Foundation background of care and support.
There you go.
All right. So number two, to tee off of what Thomas was just saying, my next point in this video would be to blaze your own path. Okay, and this is not to say like we built the market or anything like that, but I do feel like we had an impact on it. You don't do that by doing exactly what everyone else does. And that's, like I said, clown ball pythons are very popular. You can blaze your own path while breeding clown ball python. So it's not about that. But, you know, one thing is, like, you don't want to start a project where somebody else is currently, if that makes sense. So if let's say, again, with ball pythons, Kabilka is the freaking man. And he shows me a ball python that blows my mind. It's beautiful. I love it. And he says it has this, and this in it. And I named it the Kraken or whatever. And that was one of the recent ones, right? Summer Mitchell's probably not watching our lives anymore. Still on
Bro, I don't
Patreon,
think her
but-
name's Mitchell anymore, dude. Come on, dude.
Wow, that shows how old I am. Crazy.
Yeah,
Been
all
working
of
on it for
another year.
62 years. But anyways, yeah, so he has the Kraken. And then if I'm like, I want to make that, let me buy all the ingredients, grow all those animals up, put 2 or 3 of those genes together, grow those animals up, and put those 2 together so I can get this 5-gene snake. By the time that I've done that, the excitement that I originally had for the one and singular project is going to wane. And I'll want to take it from another direction. This actually kind of goes back to, like I said, with that Annery Motley that Melissa bought and brought up here, that this is one of the most flexible females that you can get. It's high percentage. It has a visual recessive, which is Annery, which plays great into high percentage stuff for Superdwarfs. And it's a Motley, because the Motley doesn't overpower pattern, but it can take, you know, like Motley Tigers are some of the most beautiful, heavily patterned snakes that you can do. Or you can go all the way to Super Motley, which is completely patternless, and everything in between. So what I'm suggesting is that you see how it is that they arrived at that. And then if you really are into the Kraken project, I'd say you fork out the bones and get into it, you know, like buy into whatever that exciting project is, if that's your end goal. Because then you can jump in while it is exciting, be a part of that community. And if you're saying, well, Garrett, that's crazy. I have no idea how much a Kraken ball python costs. Maybe it's
Probably a lot of money.
$20,000, $30,000, $50,000. I don't know. But you're saying that's nuts. I would never spend that on a snake.
Garrett,
Then get into.
I gotta stop you. It's more snut gene
Oh, wow.
from Christina.
Thank you.
Also,
don't
while
even
we're
remember
paused
when I
quick, we
said
got two $2 super chats from DNT Retix.
Ooh,
Person
DNT.
says, well said, show them honesty and help. And the next one says, hi, Melissa. Melissa, we need to bring you on more often.
That's great.
Well, so kind of what I'm hearing you say is like, if you're not moving forward or like planning on moving forward, you're actually moving backwards. Standing still is moving backwards.
I mean, you're not going to, if you see somebody finishing a race, you don't want to jump over to the start line.
Exactly.
You know, either jump in there and race alongside them or take inspiration from what they've done and find your own direction. That's another part of blazing your own path. You know, a lot of times people take inspiration from, like you say, oh, this guy in the reptile industry does what I want to do. I want to do exactly that. Or this ball python breeder does. I'm going to try to do what they do. Usually for us, where we try to take inspiration from are the successes or failures of brands that we're familiar with and admire. So, for example, for me, I like the brand Harley Davidson. They've done good things. They've done bad things. As a company, they have products I'm in love with and ones that I don't like. So I try to figure out what is it that I like about those things? How are they presented or portrayed to me? And how can I apply that to my business? Like in that, for instance, I think, you know, the famous lines from the CEO of Harley is that, you know, I think typically people would say, if I said, what company is Harley Davidson into? You'd say motorcycles. You know, the truth is they actually make more money on clothing. But if you ask the CEO what he does, he says he empowers an accountant to be feared and respected on his weekend. Right? That's what they do. They give you this brand. You ride a Harley, you're a big, bad, tough guy or whatever it is, no matter what it is that you do for your 9 to 5. It's kind of an escape from your regular life. And so for us, you know, the Superdwarf thing, I mean, that's kind of our product. But for me, the big thing I'm trying to develop, I don't know if this is apparent to you or not, is the community, the reptile community. That's why we volunteer our time for US ARC and have people out to the shop and all those kinds of things. But the truth of the matter is, I want to empower people to be able to live well with their pets. If I can get you to make $5,000, it's never about the money. And that's not enough for you. Hey everybody, it's Wednesday night. We've got a new this year, but think of the cage you could buy for your pet for $5,000 this year. If you had a couple of them, and I can give you some kind of advice that does that, that would improve the quality of the life of your animals, of yourself, or people around you. So that's kind of what I want to do. I have a couple other points here, but I don't think I'm going to go into them too much, other than I would recommend against any breeding loans from the start. People try to go a little bit cheaper. I have one, you have one, let's do it. And the reason why is because those can be messy. They can go sideways easily. And it's a great way to make people angry at you right at the time that you really need people to like you because you have babies to bring to the market. It just happens too often. You can do it well, but that's more of an advanced move. Save that one for later. Wholesale is the other thing. Being able to produce a product that you can just sell to somebody if it doesn't work out for you. And that's a really good out. So, what do you think, Thomas? Blaze your own
I
path.
think I keep hitting buttons on accident, so people may or may not have watched the live stream intro for
Nobody got
half
any
second.
of that.
Yeah, you were muted the whole time. I didn't want to interrupt you and tell you that, so they just got sounds of me breathing for the last 20 minutes. Christina says slowly but surely trying to change the language of old.
Oh,
Morphs versus
she's talking about
genes.
morphs versus genes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the sunfire morph, not the sunfire gene.
Hey guys, if I missed something or you have any questions, we're gonna have a little bit of a time for questions towards the end, so keep that in mind. I would save your questions for Garrett towards there because I'll be paying more attention to the chat. But I mean, so like you're saying, blaze your own path, start your own thing. Like, you think I could probably buy a couple snakes, 3 or 4 years, be making like, couple $100,000 a year right off the bat, no sweat, all easy, 2 or 3 snakes.
Obviously. Yeah, it's a get-rich-quick scheme.
Exactly.
You didn't get the memo. You've been working here so long that you could be a millionaire if you had just bought some snakes.
Everyone's walking past the water cooler being, this guy doesn't.
Thomas doesn't have any
get
snakes.
it
He
yet.
had that one garter snake, and he let it go in his apartment. And that was it. Yeah.
I don't think they knew
were we not
where.
going to tell that on
I
the
didn't
internet?
let it go. They escaped. The door was left open though.
Yeah. I don't know how that is not that, but no. So that brings me to my
What, your third point that I wrote for you?
laughter from the audience.
Hold on.
Can we
do
get
that
our
again?
studio audience
Ready?
There it is. Oh, Melissa's got a genuine one. That was good. That was pretty good. Man, Melissa's stealing the spotlight in
No,
tonight's
man.
show.
There's gonna be another mic up there next
Yeah,
time.
no kidding. Yeah, Jody's doing a great job too, Jody. I kind of forget you're there because your brown shirt and the couch and you're just blending in, but
It's just like it's like jeans and a head and a snake.
it was just the brown shirt, my friend. Okay, so my third point is this, guys. Play chess, not checkers. In other words, you have to plan a couple steps ahead. I think that, like people get their first animal and they go, oh, I want to breed. And the first thing they try to learn is like all the genetics within the species that they're interested in. And I just got to buy up all these things. And that stuff is really good to learn. But I think that there should be a point to the genetics that you're buying. So before you even, throw any money or, significant time investment into building out your part of the industry, I think it's important that you understand what your end goal is. What kind of a business do I want to be? I ask myself, I always refer to it like this, like 6-year-old Garrett would have said this, or 6-year-old Garrett would have said that. Like, what did I want to be when I grow up? So, for example, a lot of times people don't think about, let's say they want to shoot for like a 4-gene recessive combo, and it's like a 1 in, what are the odds on that if I breed quad het to quad het? Let's see, it's 1 in 4 for 1 gene, 1 in 16 for 2, 1 in 64, what is it? 1 in 516 odds of hitting that. So what do you do with the other 515 snakes? Leave it to Richard, the engineer. Is it fair to call you that? You are an engineer, right? Okay. I didn't know if it was official or not, but he's an engineer in my mind. So what do you do with the other 515? You know what I mean? And so there's a lot of times where people will produce an expensive snake, not want to get rid of like, you know, those other genetics. Let's say I have pos hets for something really cool that I've invested in. I could damage the market if I let them out. So I can't let them out, but I don't have enough space to keep every, 515 snakes that I produce that I didn't aim to. So I can't keep them for myself, and so, there's all kinds of solutions for this. Some of them are pretty dark. People having pets to feed off unwanted babies and things like that. It's kind of crazy, and from a business sense, I understand it. I know that, like, I grew up on a ranch and stuff. I'm kind of brutal. Like, that chicken might have to lose its life if I want my McNuggets or something. I kind of get that. But at the same time, I'm like, did 6-year-old Garrett want to grow up to be a breeder so that he could euthanize as many snakes as he made?
Well, so this reminds me of a video we put out a while ago that maybe we're checking out if you still have questions about what this actually looks like. We dropped a video, probably want to say a year and a half ago, called The Best Investment Retake of 2021. And it's about the cow project.
Okay.
And I think the thing that I appreciated, just even from not knowing snakes, but having some sense of how business works, is how you're able to think steps ahead, chestnut checkers, and at every stage it makes sense and it's slowly paying for itself because you're putting in thought for how you want this project to play out and be winning at every step.
Yeah.
And that's an example of a good chess snake breeding strategy.
100%. And honestly, guys, anybody that's breeding reptiles professionally, we're not doing it for the money. Some people do make a lot of money breeding reptiles, but any one of them would probably make 10 times as much in any other industry with the skill set that they have. Because breeding live animals is it's a product of love and passion for the animals. So I would say if you don't have the ability to make that kind of plan, or how am I supposed to plan ahead 3 generations of breeding when I'm just trying to pick out my first snake or whatever, all you need to know is 2 things. The first one is what is kind of your end goal? And a great place to start to figure out your future is, like I said, go back to the past. What would 6-year-old Garrett want to do with snakes? If it was all fun and money didn't matter and I just had the purest of intentions, what would that look like? And then the second thing is, who is a breeder that you can go to trust to help you along that process? Because along with learning all the morphs, what a lot of people then try to do is learn that market. What is this worth, or what is that worth? I don't want to get ripped off. And so what they do is they try to go out on their own as a complete newbie or beginner and pick through a market of people, some of which are there to take advantage of you 100%. And they will try to navigate those waters on their own without having an end goal in sight. And it's really hard to come out of that successfully. A lot of people have a hard time recovering from some very early bad decisions that they make when they get in. But if you know what you want to do, and you know who to talk to that, is going to help you come up with this, I think there are breeders in any species, anyone that you can see is really passionate about that particular animal, that particular market, then you want to go to that person and ask them to help you with a plan. I love doing this stuff because I don't get to plan out new projects from scratch. Hey, if I was to start with no retics and a $5,000 budget, where would I go? That would probably be one of my favorite things to think about because I've done that so many times. I know how it works. I have the years of experience to benefit from, and I'm happy to freely share that with you. I think you can find that in any niche, whatever types of animals. It doesn't matter what it is. But if I was going to get, let's say, an emerald tree skink, I would definitely buy that from Clint's Reptiles, even though he doesn't sell them. I would bug him and talk to him. I'd set up cages like him. I'd text him pictures of it. And I would say, please, can I have a baby someday? And I'd build my cage. This is where I would do that because knowing Clint, I would build it with a big empty hole in the middle of the cage and say, Clint, there's a big empty hole in my emerald tree skink cage. Maybe I'd put a T-Rex in there and say, this is the best that I could do, but it still feels empty. Can you help me fill this longing? And he would get such a kick out of that, he'd probably send you 10 of them for free. You know, that's the way that a lot of this stuff goes. So find who you want to partner with on a project because they're so passionate about it. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you can go watch Clint's Reptiles when he talks about emerald tree skinks. Literally click any one of his videos and he's going to talk
If
about
you're going to
it.
click on any other ones, maybe you check out the, like, I don't know, Superdwarf one.
He did make a Superdwarf one.
Or-
I don't know if he mentioned the tree skinks in there. He probably did.
Or house snakes.
Yeah, house snakes. He needs to remake that house snakes one over here. We got some
Come on,
stuff to
Clint.
show him. We got some stuff to show him. But yeah, like you really don't want to miss out on the experiences like I got to have with Warren Klein from Bushveld Reptiles, sending him pictures of empty holes in my heart and telling him to come to my facility and look at all my house snakes with me, talk about the future. You know,
Stay up till 2 a.m. and
I
talk
think I
about
scared him a
world
little bit.
domination.
Cause he collected them as a kid. You know, his thing is like they're the perfect kids snakes, right?
Like children's python. I mean, sorry, kid snakes.
Children's pythons is a whole different thing, but they're actually do kind of remind me of
Vote
children's
to
pythons.
rename house snakes to children's snakes.
There's already a children's
No,
python.
children's snake.
Oh yeah.
Subtle difference.
Right. Now we're not gonna rename stuff. That's where the whole thing goes.
I don't know.
wrong.
You said
Trust
blaze your own trail. I'm feeling inspired.
me. But yeah, it was kind of funny. He's like, I was like, everybody needs one of these, and he's like, well, how popular do you think these could really become? And he goes, is there any other like species in the market that has achieved the type of popularity you're talking about? I'm like, maybe sea monkeys. And he's like, sea monkeys, which is like every kid got a coupon out of the back of their magazine or something back in the day for sea monkeys. They still sell sea monkeys.
Dude, I remember being at like a Hobby Lobby and looking at the sea monkey thing and being like, I don't know what these are, but I want them.
Richard was raising sea monkeys for feeders. Would you have seahorses or something? Seahorses are the natural predator of sea monkeys. It's nothing like it is on land.
I don't know, man. You kept horses for a while, so
They were not eating monkeys. Yeah, they did.
was that
the
just a
tar out of
lack
this
of
monkey,
available
that's-
resources, or
It could be. I haven't dealt with many.
you ever seen a monkey and a horse in the same room?
Abby says it sounds like the beginning of a bad joke.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, guys, if you have any questions, this is a great time to drop it in. I'm gonna
Fire them off.
I'm gonna
Background
go
super
back-
chat or no? We want to
Exactly.
go back and forth with you guys a little bit, and then we're actually going to dive into this pretty deep in the Patreon after party afterwards.
Yep.
So in the meantime,
Well, I'm gonna go back through and like there's a couple of just chats I noticed. I'll shout them out. Soccer Mom Sleeper says, "Look at this new setup. I haven't watched in a while and times have changed. Love seeing the growth and success. Well deserved." Thank you so much, Soccer Mom.
thank you,
Sleeper.
appreciate that. That's all you guys, the super chat stuff. I mean, we're doing it like Thomas said, slowly, but I think it's really fun to grow it organically along with you guys. So the more you appreciate the show, the more we'll throw into it. It's been kind of cool.
Genetics Nerd, aka Christina Hill, says in all caps, "This is why we need mainstream genotyping potential morphs." I think she's referring to when there's like an overproduction of het, like proving out hets,
Yeah.
like being able to like see what genetics it is before or morph phenotypes before it's you can, or in a way where you don't need to prove it in breeding.
You lost me. What was her comment?
Mainstream genotyping potential morphs.
Are you talking about like all the cool new stuff coming out where you can send in a shed skin and figure out the genotype?
Think so. Somebody
So
responded.
you have the phenotype is what the snake looks like, what it expresses, like an
Yeah.
albino. A genotype would be that it's heterozygous for albino. You can't see it.
I think I threw the word phenotype in there and screwed it up. She also said the number of animals end up flooding the market just so people can prove out hets is disturbing.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's true. You know, trying to figure out what your hets are for and this, that, and the other. Just, I mean, my thing is like, consider where those babies are going to go. It really, you're firing on all of these points if you're doing that, you know. Have a plan, know where not to waste money. You can chase one dream and sacrifice so much along the way with a poor plan. But if you do it right, you can actually achieve even greater success, oftentimes faster than other people, by solidly moving forward in, you know, calculated steps.
Ash M says, I think referring to house snakes, I still so want to get into them, but we needed to put it on hold for the time being. In the meantime, I'm looking at house snake morphs for jewel-worthy pictures. It's an Instagram page or something like that.
There's the morphs in house snakes are pretty cool. Like on their own, they're a fairly like bland animal, I think. But that's really only if you're doing internet searches for them, because so much of the stuff is the common brown Fuliginosus. I call them fuglies. You know, they're still imported in great number, and then they're bred into any of the morphs. Most of the morphs come from the Cape house snakes or capensis, and so when you breed the fuglies into the capes, unless you're doing a very selective, specific project, you're gonna get babies that look not as good as either one. You know.
Oh, also, Ash had said, told me to read the comment above that. Hi, Garrett. It's Gina's friend Ashley was focused on the house snakes at Retic Fest and got the male Kalatoa.
Yes, I remember. That was pretty fun.
And the following week,
house
the
snakes
female.
They're so fun. They're like, it's kind of like having a corn snake, same girth, half the length. Like chop your corn snake in half, get 2 of them for 1. That's your house snake. They're pretty fun, but they act like a python, at least as adults. So they're pretty cool. So, and the capes are the way to go. If those of you guys are looking into house snakes, I know the blacks pull everybody's attention. We do have black house snakes. They're pretty neat, but that's only because they are a wild type and they're cheap and they're imported. They're not as good at pets as the Cape house snakes. So spend a little extra money and get the cool ones.
Yep.
For
Well,
sure.
guys, if you have any questions, we can take a second to answer them. But I wanted to give a shout out. I meant to do this earlier, but so we have or not a shout out, but a little teaser for a vlog that's coming up right before we get
Which
into.
one is this? Oh, is this Rob?
This is the Speeiter.
This is Rob's experience with a new species. Rob is our breeder here.
Yes, which means he regularly interacts with large pythons that, not even large ones because they're superdwarfs, but yeah, I don't know. Here,
He's
we'll
not
just have
afraid of
to-
snakes, but everyone's got their thing.
All right,
Check it out.
here's the clip.
You can be okay?
I'm gonna need some support.
I got you. Where?
Oh man, like I can already feel my face getting red. Oh man, I don't know about this. I think we should stop.
No. So the truth of the thing is, this is like the most chill species of spider in the world.
I'm about to cry. I have made certain decisions throughout my life that has brought me here. I'm starting to question whether I should be allowed to make decisions. Does it get close to my belly?
They don't have any.
She trusts me. I don't trust her.
Well, guys, that's from our vlog that's coming up this week. Rob's reactions were pure gold.
You gotta watch the rest of the video. That was pretty crazy. So big shout out to Richard at Tarantula Collective.
Yep, and it's coming out. It's coming out early this week because we're timing it perfectly with Richard's release.
Oh,
So
cool.
it's coming out on Friday instead of Saturday.
Friday, what time?
Friday, 1 p.m.
You sure you don't want to make that 6 just in case?
No. I was Richard releases at 1 p.m. So
Oh, we're gonna release concurrently.
yes, we're doing a little magic double feature.
Oh, he says 1 p.m. I think he's just like, oh man, I gotta hurry.
I was thinking about whether or not we had agreed upon like an in-between time if it was still 1 p.m. but- Guys, 1 p.m. on Friday. Catch the vlog and Richard's thing.
It's gonna be pretty fun. I think we should name a snake. You can throw some questions out if you want.
I think we should name an animal. I don't think it's a snake.
You want to name that guy? That guy's got a
You
name.
told me we're naming that guy this week.
Yeah, but
You said we're naming it on the live stream. Come on, man.
You don't like tripod?
I'm gonna start filming every conversation we have.
She just said it has 5 legs. He has
Exactly.
3 legs and 2 arms. Okay.
That's what I'm saying, but I'm not the animal guy, so
All
I
right.
just keep my mouth
Hold on,
shut.
we got a new pet for you guys to name. All
We
right,
can
can
name
you-
2. We can name 2.
So let's get you guys up here with these snakes. No, we were gonna name 3
Wait, we're
because I
naming
got 2
what?
snakes.
You pulled 2 snakes?
I pulled 2 snakes and we got
I'm
the
shaking
frog.
my head, man.
Hold on, come on up. Bring
All right, guys. So if you don't know how this works, if you haven't joined us before, this is the part of the show where we name snakes. Yes. So you guys will drop your name suggestions in the chat. I'll read them off. These guys will pick the names for us. So get your names warmed up. I'm going to throw the snake cam on. What's up? Okay, yep, let's do that. So we're going to show Jody's snake off
Pick a name
first.
ourselves for them.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah, you're good. Move it that way a little bit more. There you go. Perfect. All right, guys, drop your name suggestions. What do we got in the? What is this animal? We showed it off earlier, but for a refresher's sake. But what is this guy? What is Jody's animal?
The snake that I'm holding.
Oh, that's a from the calico blood.
All right, guys, drop your name suggestions in there. About 30 seconds, and we'll start reading them off.
Melissa says, geez, thanks.
All right, so this guy's super cute. Some of my favorite things about him, I think you got to be like right about here.
Keep it real.
Oh,
All right,
the
we're-
reactions! Carefully,
We're starting to
hops
get a
mostly
couple
to the right.
of them in.
His alignment is off. All right. So this guy's got this really cool single scale wide black dorsal stripe. It's almost 2 scale wides in some places. And he just has a really, really beautiful like light silver color. Really nice. The platinum and the anery together make such beautiful like greens and grays. And
All right, guys, we're getting some names in here. I'm going to start reading them off. Skeletor, Gherkin, Panther, Puff. Didn't hear him. Garfield. Lasagna after Joey's lasagna. Liono. Draco, Mello. Benediction, Zipper, Dolce. Chainsaw, Cheese, Sterling. You want me to run him back? Do you guys, you think one? Mortar, Tattoo. Snacks on Fur.
like Sacks on Fifth. I get it. I understood a pop culture reference, guys.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm actually thinking Zipper.
Ooh,
Zipper.
I like that because of
Yeah.
the stripe.
Yeah.
Because of the stripe, and also it's just kind of a very kind of chill sounding name, and he's just a really sweet name. Like, he's literally just been right here chilling on my. I like it.
All right.
So Zipper it is. All right, let's whip out the other snake. What do you what do we got?
Okay, so here we have a dwarf. It's a Jumping Kalatoa marble female.
Oh, congratulations, Lauren, by the way. That was your name.
Woot, woot. How do they get their thing? What do you force them to screenshot and do everything by themselves?
Go back in the videos, screenshot, put it on your story, telling us you named it. We'll share it, I believe. We will find a
You
way.
can't even
We
follow
will
through
find a
on
way.
that part.
It's hard, man, dude. I'm the video guy, not the Instagram. Oh.
All right, this girl is really cool. The marble is absolutely chaotic. I love this. I don't know if you noticed that she's got like a split on her.
It looks like a lightning strike.
Little
on
lightning
her face,
bolt going down the
by her
head.
nose, yeah.
She's really growing into that gold color, so the golds and the blues. You know, the marble, I think, refers less to just the black dorsal pattern and more, let me see if I can roll this up to the sides, but where the blues and the golds kind of mix and collide down the sides is really where it looks super marbly on these animals. It's almost the background color.
All right, we're getting some names in here.
She's definitely one of the more extreme marbles.
Yeah, she's.
All right, you want to hear some names?
Let's hear it.
Let's do it.
All right, we got the first one. You're going to like this. Is Melissa, the real star of the show.
Is that the full name, Melissa, the real star of the show?
They put it in
I think it
parentheses,
has
but
to
I
be.
would
That's what
like
Rob's gonna have to write.
I would like that. That's a lot of writing for Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob gets
Granite.
mad at the long names when it comes to breeding.
Yes. Melissa is pretty
write
easy
them
to
all.
spell though, so
Yeah,
something to think
that's
about.
true.
Granite, Shatter, Marble, Glass, Pollock, Thor, Estrella means star in Spanish. Diana, Whirlpool, Marby,
Pretty snake.
Gladys, Riptide, Spanish Gold, real marble name for the color. Marble, Toodles. How about Sydney for Mr. Crosby? I like that one. Jax, Super Marble, Hera, Storm, Taj, as in Mahal, Mithril, Cindy Lauper, City, Mabel, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Oh, Rob will love that
Oh
one.
my
yeah,
gosh.
that's
Yeah.
literally just
Geo,
throwing Rob.
dude. Cindy.
Glitterati.
Glitterati. Oh my gosh. All
That's
right.
a good one.
How about just fragilistic?
Fragile.
Fluffy. What are we thinking? How are we feeling?
I'm torn between Storm and Melissa. I actually really like Melissa. She looks like a Melissa Melissa. Like super sweet and personable.
We don't have any Melissas
Just like,
yet.
all right, Melissa it is.
Melissa.
Congratulations.
Okay, that was S. Arnett, Samantha Arnett.
Oh, Samantha got it. The real star of the show.
Congratulations.
Okay, we got one more animal. This is a pretty special one, guys. This is kind of a rescue from the backyard. So Richard's got him here. He's going to show him to you briefly. This is a 5-legged or 2-armed, 3-legged frog that Warren
not
Klein
named
tried
Tripod.
very hard to make tripod work. But Thomas hated it so much that we're now naming him.
Clearly,
on the live
everything's
stream.
about me at this point.
Only the bad stuff that I like to blame you.
No, that's Randy. We named.
Oh, that's
we
his
picked an
Randy,
arbitrary
yeah.
name.
My friend
Randy.
that's not Thomas. Let's just call him Randy. Yeah. So the 5-legged bullfrog.
Sorry if your name's Randy.
Apparently, fracking really is bad for you. What do you guys think? What should we name this frog?
We're getting some names in. Are you ready for them?
We really enjoy this guy.
All
Oh
right.
yeah, fire away.
Cinco, Fractal, Pentapod, Charm for 3rd time's the charm. Limbo, Kickstand.
Kickstand wins this one.
He took it kickstand right now. He just said that's it. Sorry if you named yours afterwards.
Are you going
Sorry.
Kickstand?
Yeah, he's going kickstand. That got
I
a good.
like
okay,
kickstand a
that's
lot.
pretty good.
I
All
like-
right, we can toss it back in there if you want.
Kickstand
That's
it
pretty
is
good.
for that one.
That's so funny. You guys can't see it, but when he gets away, he goes to hop and he just goes in a circle because he really is stronger on the 2-legged side. He swims too, and you're just like goes. When he gets excited, he goes. You know, this is like I said, his alignment is all.
Battling on both sides.
Yeah, yeah. Like it. I mean, it's a good leg. He's got the full things in there.
Kicks. As soon as someone said
Name him
kickstand,
what?
I was done.
NASCAR, always in one
There you go.
direction. Lefty.
That was good.
There you go. That's pretty good. All right. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us. Hey, thank you to our live audience tonight. We appreciate you guys, all your love and support on Patreon, and even hanging out here. That's going to be pretty cool.
Bringing the vibes, making it fun.
Heck yeah. So if you guys want to jump in and join with us, the after party, we're going to hang with all these guys, then jump on the Patreon, link in the description. We'll see you there. It's a good time.
It's a good time.
We have
Thank
a
you
lot
for
of fun.
tuning in, guys. We will see you if you're
Catch you
on
next
Patreon.
time.
5 minutes. 2 minutes.
Ooh.